Morning, babe. How you doing?
I'm doing good, baby. How about yourself?
Doing good. Just enjoying our long distance relationship. Even though you're sitting here, we have a long distance relationship, and we making it work.
Well, it's been 3 years now. So, we're at a point where we are going to make decisions about our relationship. We're not sure what they're going to be, but gosh, we've enjoyed this time, haven't we?
Yes, we really have. We really have. I mean, we done went through a lot,
Traveling.
traveling, going to different places,
Yeah.
uh, coming to visit and staying with each other,
Yes.
talk every single day on
Oh,
the
yeah.
phone.
Mandatory.
Yeah. So
I want to know where he is.
yes. So when you're talking about long distance relationships, that's one of the things that we have done.
Yeah.
It's not a day go by that we don't holler at each other and say,
Oh.
"Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. Oh no. Every day, maybe 3 times a day. But
Yes.
we get it in. He makes me feel like he's right there with me. But sometimes it can get a little lonely.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
can get a little lonely, but we have a lot of things in common. We dance together, we make videos together, right, baby?
Oh yeah, we
Ooh,
have a good
yeah.
time. We have a good time. We have a good time, and we also have our differences. See, and that's all of that is stuff. It's just gonna happen,
It does.
and that's what's gonna determine your relationship, whether it's long term or local, whether he or she are right down the street. It's gonna determine whether or not y'all can get along based
That's true.
on the disagreements y'all have,
Yeah.
and nobody should be should say yes to everything. I mean,
No,
if
no.
if something is questionable, you have to question it.
Yeah, but we haven't had a lot.
We have not had a
But
lot.
when we have them, they're
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah.
I remember one bad one we had. I don't remember what we were arguing it about. It was might have been something very petty, but I think because we're long distance, when we do have a fight, it ain't good.
Yes,
It's not.
it's
But
not.
we don't go days not talking to each other. I know he's pissed. And I know I'm pissed. But we kind of feel at some point somebody says they're sorry, or we have to come to some kind of resolution, which we do. So that's the bad thing about being in a long distance relationship. When
Yeah.
you argue about something, for me, it has not been good because we don't argue.
Yes, and once again, whether right down the street, same city, whatever, you're gonna have disagreement. You're gonna need to go through some stuff because when you can't allow to go too far into it, they say, "Oh, I didn't know he was crazy," "Oh, I didn't know she had all those issues." So you when you have your disagreements, you're gonna have them. No matter who you are, you're gonna have them. So if you can get through that and understand this is how it works in life. And then you understand this is the person that I want to talk to. This is the person that I like. This is the person that I love. And when you start seeing that, it becomes clear to you on where you want to go with this. And then you got to get into the travel. You got to get into going to seeing each other, long distance I'm talking about. And these are all of the things that's on the table. You're gonna need some money.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna need some money. You are. Listen, we're seniors.
Yeah.
So at this point, we can't take this money with us when we leave this place. So we're trying to make good decisions because we both have grown children, and we just want to have that good time together while we can, while we're healthy, while I can bend over and do stuff, while I can still dance,
Yes.
So
Yeah, because we have so much in common, and that's the key. That's the key. It's almost like any other dating. Again, local or long distance, you got to have something in common
Yes.
for it to go on, or for it to even start. You got to have something in common. What we have in common, I like to work out. VJ likes to work out. We like to get out and go. We like to dance. We like to do things. We like to dress up. So
Oh,
those
we
are just
do.
some of the things we have in common
We do.
that have brought us together. I'm a widow, she's a widow.
Yes.
You know, emotionally, we understand each other. We understand the pain of losing loved ones,
We do.
losing a spouse,
Yes.
which is very painful.
Yes.
But the key thing to that me and you talked about, is that unfortunately, life is going to have to keep going. It's not going to stop for you, me, VJ, or anybody else when you lose a spouse.
Right.
It's hurtful, it's painful.
It is painful.
But what did they say? The world continues to turn even when you're standing still.
Yeah.
It's going to keep turning.
But you know, I think if I dated someone who wasn't a widow, they would. I don't know if it would last, because how many times have I called you my husband?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
my fiance's
Yeah.
name?
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I just wasn't thinking. I knew it was him, but it just came out. And he just, ignores it. I think if I was dating someone who hadn't been through it, they may feel offended, or they might say something like, oh, she's not ready for me, or something that they don't understand. But he gets it.
Yes. Yes.
He gets me.
Yes. And one of the things what I mentioned earlier about long distance and y'all traveling, whatever the distance is, you may have to get on a plane, you may have to drive 4 hours away, 5 hours, 3 hours, whatever the case may be. You got to get there, and it's gonna take money, and you're gonna spend some money.
Yeah.
Once again, we're seniors. As we stated, we have grown kids, and so we can get up and go whenever we get ready. We are grown. And speaking of grown and having kids, you got to understand, even though you have kids, whether they're young or old, you can't allow your kids to control your love life.
Oh, they gonna try. So let's stop. They gonna try. You were newly widowed.
Yeah.
You dated a few ladies.
Yes.
Didn't work out. Till you met me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is true.
But,
Compatible.
yeah.
Somebody, that we had so many things in common. Yes.
Yeah. But I know your kids probably want you to date around, and you did for a few months.
Yes. Yes. Your kids always have a vision. Whether they're young or old, they have a vision of what they think you ought to do as far as your love life.
Oh yeah.
But only you know in here, in your heart, whether it works in life or if it doesn't work in life. The bottom line is that, like I told my daughter one time, I was talking to my daughter, and she's my youngest daughter, she's in her 30s. Like I was telling her, whatever decision you make on you dating, that's a decision you have to make. I said, your dad can't make it for you, and vice versa.
Oh no, I don't know if it works like that.
Yeah.
Because, kids always feel like they become the parent when you've reached a certain age. They feel like you just don't know what's going on. Oh, but we know.
Right.
We know, but kids, I don't know.
And obviously sometimes, they are feeling, the loss of whichever parent,
Yeah.
that they had. They're feeling because they're accustomed to a certain way of life, whether they're grown or not,
Yeah.
and they keep looking at that. And sometimes I don't know whether they can get past that or what.
They
But
may not be able to.
right. So they just can't fathom you sometime with another person, or another man or a woman. They just can't fathom that sometimes. And I think they really struggle with that. But once again, you cannot allow that to stop you from finding your love.
Yeah.
Because life is going to have to go on. We can
It
sit here
does.
and talk about this all day long. We can talk about this for 3 days and continues to talk about it for 3 more days.
I hope not.
Yes, we can. But at the end of the day, you got to make a decision yourself on what you feel, right?
That is true.
Yes.
You do. But sometimes they do influence things.
Yes.
if you let them, you
Yes.
know, they,
For the
'cause,
good
you know,
or bad.
I don't know everything, you know, but you know, sometimes some of their words, you know, you're like, well, I didn't think about that. You know, you say to yourself, well, you know, but there are a lot of things, you know, we of course have to consider if, you know, we go to another level, you know, our children, our finances, who gonna move where, our stuff. I mean, we got a lot of stuff between the two, between the two of us. We have two households. He thinks it's so easy. You know, you just do it. Me, I sometimes I struggle with it. You know, how am I going to do this? My business is in this state, and so a lot of things to think about if you want the relationship to go on. But anyway,
Yes, there's a lot of things to think about, and everything is on the table, and you have
Yeah.
to look at everything.
You do.
But you know, if you love this person, and if y'all are that compatible, some people sometimes they get so caught up with this local thing.
You
Like
do.
sometimes you think you're gonna find Mr. Local right down the street. It still may not be for you. Over there, a sheep may not be over there. Wherever you find your love at, whether it works or not, if you believe that is your love and it's in your heart,
Yeah.
you have to make that decision.
You do.
You can't allow. I mean, especially in our situation, we're seniors. I mean, we done been through a lot. I mean, we understand relationships. We understand, like VJ said earlier, about the travel or whatever the situation. That if this goes further, about how we're gonna do things. I have a lot of stuff. She has a lot of stuff. We're seniors. I mean, if I was young, this type of situation with what we got
Easy.
now, it probably would be a problem. That's why I always say it's not hard for me because I understand the dynamic. I understand sitting back saying,
I think. Wait a minute. I think it's easy when you're younger. I
no,
think it's.
I don't think if you
I
had the kind of
think
stuff
so.
we had,
No,
you had
when
your
you're-
house,
when-
you got your car, you established, you got this money. See, I was never established. I was always broke.
All right. Well, babe, I gotta catch my flight.
Yeah, and matter of fact, DJ has to catch her flight today. She's been here for how many days
10
now?
days.
10 days. It's time for her to leave. And we're going to talk more about this. Like and subscribe and come on back and be with us. We've got more. It's all from the heart.